Check, check, check one, check, hello. And it's out of here. And check one.
Out established on the tag, 6-3, end of the top fourth. No runs, one hit, and one runner left on by the Saxons in the top fourth. Between halves of the fourth inning, it's a 5-0 North Torrance lead. On to the bottom of the fourth inning. Leading off the Serra Cavaliers.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Joshua Lewis Field here on the campus of Serra High School. Here for some spring baseball between your Serra High School Cavaliers and the North High School Saxons. Catching up on a game in action already. Going to go ahead and head to the bottom of the fourth as the Cavaliers are down 5-0 here to North. And at the plate, number 41, Michael Richardson, and gets a piece of this one, driving the left fielder out, and it's back over his head. Richardson, a big guy, so he's going to dig in and hold that second, standing up. A good start here in this inning for the Cavaliers as they try to make some hay back on this big deficit that they are facing. I'd like to apologize to our people looking for our link earlier. Some technical difficulties. But we are here for you now, and we're excited to be. Kevin Pena's on the mound for the North Torrance Saxons. Haven't given up anything. He's a junior right-hander. And he digs in here against Kevin Martinez, playing second for the Cavaliers. First pitch inside and gets a piece of Martinez. Could hear it from where we're at up here above the booth here at Serra High School. Tried to turn his shoulder in. No ill intent there on the pitch from Pena, but their coach is out to talk to him as he's led on just two here in the bottom of the fourth. And as soon as we can get you some updates on those runs scored so far in this game, we will. But for now, we're just happy to be here with you. This presentation brought to you by The Voice Of, and we're happy to have you here. We're happy to have high school students, student athletes here on the field participating. Some of these kids, this is going to be their last opportunity playing organized sports. And I'm just glad that we got some kids out here. As you might have heard in the background, Malik Ballou at the plate. I'd like to thank Corey C. Swaggy for being here, calling the game live from the booth. Our PA man, Corey, does an awesome job. It's a hard man to get at your school because he's that good. And everybody in SoCal wants him. So thanks, Corey, for being here. Pena back here. Baloo setting up for the bunt. Lays it down. Bobbled by the first baseman, but the play is made. Runners advance.
Sac fly bunt, Malik Ballou. Richardson at third, Martinez at second.
And so 1 out here for the Cavaliers.
Sean
And coming up, trying to bring somebody in is going to be Sean Carter. Playing third base today for the Cavaliers. Looking back towards his dugout. Trying to see if there's a call here. What he's looking for. Swings through the first pitch. Strike one. For those of you that joined us at the last Cavaliers home game, you saw them lay down a beautiful suicide squeeze. But with Michael Richardson, like I said, a bit on the heavier side, unlikely for that to be the play here. So Carter looks like he's going to be swinging away. Lets that one in the dirt go, and it's 1-1 as Pena sets. Fouled back by Carter. It's going to be 1-2. Pena working with Joey McCormick, senior behind the plate. He's going to lay down his call. Pena, no shake. He's going to go to it. It's right down there and jumping to make the grab at first base. Elijah Vasquez, quick on his feet to put Carter out and record the second out of the inning here for the Saxons. Looking to get out of this one unscathed, despite the early action here by the Cavaliers in the bottom of the fourth. For the Cavaliers now, it's number 10, Cameron Robertson. Lefty up there against Pena. One's on the outside edge, and Pena gets the call. Painted beautifully on the arm side. One tails down and nothing there. It's going to be 1 ball, 1 strike. Swings right into the dirt there and unable to beat out the play at first base. And that retires the fourth for the Cavaliers. So they're heading to the top of the fifth. Saxons coming to bat up 5-0. We'll be back in just a second.
Saxons ahead 5-0 onto the fifth inning.
Here we go in the fifth. Saxons up to the plate. Starting it off will be number 17, Brenner Wailoma. Beautiful name there, Brenner Wailoma. Wailoma, maybe. Gotta get a confirmation on that. But he's in there working against the lefty, Adrian Montenegro, as he fouls that one off. It's 1-1. Montenegro working with Miles Blackwell, who's been behind the plate for every game I've seen so far for the Cavaliers, at least half of them. And he does a pretty good job back there. This view that we get allows us to be pretty close to a lot of the action that's happening. As that one's nailed up the middle. No one able to close on it. And it's going to be a single for Wailoma. And as I was mentioning, we have this view here. I'm standing next to our camera. It's a little zoomed in. We're above the booth, right behind home plate. And if nothing's going on in a game, there's definitely action going on at the plate. So we've got a great perspective of what's going on as this bunt is laid down and bobbled as the third baseman Carter came in for it. It was Tristan Fernandez, the junior shortstop, laying that one down and able to reach. So they move the runner along. Don't pick up the out. And now the Saxons in the same position that the Cavaliers were in the last half inning when we stressed how much that they were threatening and trying to come back in the game. Now North here trying to extend. It's Kevin Pena. He squares the bunt, gets out the way of it. And a little commotion as Fernandez gets back to first. Blackwell steps out to give a call, and now he sets up behind the plate. Move looking back to second. No throw from Montenegro. Cavaliers decked out in their white jerseys, white on white. White stripe down the side of the pants. Red stripe down the side of the pants and red hat. Saxons here in all black. Blue lettering. White stripe just inside the shoulders. And a good game here. Pena steps over to talk to his third base coach. This is the pitcher, Kevin Pena, batting in the 6th spot. And again, Blackwell steps out to give the call, and Pena steps in. Montenegro looks in. Pitch, grounded hard down into the dirt. Montenegro looks at third, decides not to make the play. Instead, he's going to go to first and take the easy out of Pena. Saxons move the runners forward. Second and third, one out. And the first baseman, Elijah Vasquez, at the plate. Saw him make that good play in the last half inning. Over there at first, making a jump and grab. And now he gets a hold of one on the first pitch from Montenegro, sending the center fielder back, bobbles it and drops it. It's down on the field, and one's going to score for the Saxons. And Vasquez is going to end up with a double.
Further, Waialana scores for the Saxons. Now at bat.
Probably be ruled an error
Colin
out there
Anderson.
by Irving Norwood. That's who's in center right now. And so probably won't pick up a hit there for Vasquez, but nonetheless, run scores. It's 6-0 for the Saxons, and that's going to be the day for Montenegro here in the fifth. Coach Martell London comes out to make the move. And the Cavaliers are going to have to get some empty innings across on the defensive end. And they're going to have to put something together, string together some hits. I've seen trying to think of who that was the other day that went deep. Somebody for the Cavaliers. Actually, I believe it might have been Jaden Edwards, who is in the lineup. He's hitting third. We haven't seen him yet today. So maybe they can string something together and maybe somebody can go yard. They've got some guys that can hit out here, but something's got to change for the Cavaliers here if they want to get back on the winning end of things. Warming up right now, freshman John Enriquez.
Now pitching for the Serra Cavaliers, freshman number 55, John Enriquez.
Cavaliers dropped a tough one in their last game as they continue on in this season. They fell to Bishop Montgomery 5-4. That one stretched to 10 innings before the Cavaliers gave up the winning run. And so a hard-fought one there. But Cavaliers failing to pick up the win, and so again, now down 6-0 here. Trying to string something together, and they're not trying to string together losses.
With number 19, Colin Anderson.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is John Enriquez, like I said, the freshman wearing number 55 into pitch. And the number 9 hitter, Isaiah Cruz, the lefty junior, is at the plate for the Saxons. First pitch swinging, pops it up into the sun, and making the play over at first base, Michael Richardson.
Stepping up to that, number 18, Isaiah Cruz. Correction, we have a batting change. Now in to hit for the Saxons, number 13.
Excuse me.
Ryan Pruitt.
Isaiah Cruz, number 18, Colin Anderson, number 19, and I got them mixed up. That was 19 Colin Anderson at the plate for that last at bat. And Isaiah Cruz being replaced here by Ryan Pruitt, the senior right-hander. And so now he's going to be at the plate taking a swing after Anderson, the freshman right fielder, lefty, pops out to first base. Men on second and third. 2 outs. Excuse me, I believe that's 1 out. And And Enriquez lays one into the shoulder of Ryan Pruitt, and he's going to take his base. Bases loaded here for the Saxons, top of the fifth. Joey McCormick, the catcher for the Saxons in the one spot, is up to bat. And he's looking to drive something in to extend this lead. Ball one. One's outside. Again, that one's off the plate and outside for Enriquez. 2 balls, no strikes. Infielder's playing about halfway, and this one's popped out between the center and the right fielder, and the play is made out there. Diving to make the catch. It's Cameron Robertson. Ending the inning for the Saxons, a big-time catch. Needed to keep the Cavaliers in this one. McCormick got a hold of that. Almost split it perfectly between the center fielder and the right fielder. And Robertson makes the sprint to get there. Lays out for it and makes the catch to end the inning. Cavaliers strand the threat and head to the bottom of the fifth.
Leading off the bottom of the fifth inning for the Cavaliers is number 2, Irving Norwood.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Starting the bottom of the fifth, Irving Norwood steps in against Pena. And he gets a hold of this second pitch, pops it up. First baseman can't find it. It's way over his head. And ranging over from second base is Ryan Petch. Good play there. Elijah Vasquez was out almost immediately. I can see him putting his glove over his head now, trying to make sure if that happens again, he's a little bit more prepared. But when that one popped up, he was immediately lost. Lucky for him, Petch was right behind him and ready to make a play. So Norwood is retired, the first batter here, and now Jaden Edwards is up to bat. Mentioned Edwards as he's hit on a pitch. One high and inside, caught him on the shoulder. Nothing to argue there. takes away the threat that I was trying to get to. Pena working so fast here. And the congratulations I wanted to give to Edwards for launching one over the fence in the Cavaliers' last home game. We were here for that one. And so that was the threat that I wanted to bring up to maybe get the Cavaliers quickly back into this one, but instead he's hit by a pitch. And so that responsibility moves on to Miles Blackwell, man behind the plate, as he takes this one high and away. It's ball one. That one's down and away. So Pena falls behind early here, 2-0. (3-0) here now to Blackwell, as North has got a lefty warming up down the first base line in the makeshift bullpen, which is nothing except for empty space extended from the grass, as Pena gets his first strike here against Blackwell. Trying to figure out who the lefty is down there for North as soon as we get a chance. But here the action is Pena walking Blackwell after hitting Edwards. So the middle of this Cavaliers lineup trying to do some damage here to chip into this big lead by the Saxons. And it's going to be Nigel Buckley DHing for Montenegro. The righty is going to dig in and try to get some runs on the board. That one's high. And adversely, Pena's got to find his spot. In this inning, this half of an inning, he's yet to force the Cavaliers to beat him. He's beaten himself. Balls inside, balls outside, balls hitting pitchers. Just a lot of balls so far, though. That one's outside as well. And he's down 2-0. Call here coming from the shortstop. It's Tristan Fernandezes, excuse me, that was stepping in to give the call to the pitcher Pena there. And on his next pitch, it's fouled off towards the Saxons bullpen. Everybody jumping inside the gate as Buckley dropped it down on the dirt over there. Pitch from Pena inside, just getting out of the way of it was Buckley. Was not prepared to dip his shoulder into that one, so if it had tailed any more towards him, that would have been a bad scene. His head was probably the last thing to get out of the way there. Instead, he steps in again as Pena sets, looks back to second. And Buckley gets a hold of this one. Hit foul there by Buckley. Pena has fought his way back into this at bat. It's a 3-2 count here to Buckley as he looks in. Makes the turn to second, no throw. Runner back before the shortstop got there. And again, the call coming from Fernandezes. Looking into Pena, a couple taps on the arm to give him the call, and here's Pena. Buckley up the middle. Step on second, throw over to first, and a double play to end the inning. Fernandezes sliding over from shortstop, and Vasquez makes the play at first to end it.
One runner left on base by Serra in the bottom of the fifth.
Cavaliers head into the sixth, down 6-0.
Saxons lead. Leading off for the Saxons to begin inning number 6 is number 6, Delshawn Lanier.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at Joshua Lewis Field here on the campus of Serra High School. And we've got a great matchup here between Serra High School and the North High Saxons. Saxons leading 6-0 as they come to bat in the top of the sixth. Delshawn Lanier is going to lead this one off. He's playing in center field. Saw him beat out that throw to first earlier. Now he lifts this one into the air, heading towards left field. And ranging over and making the catch.
Here is number 5, Ryan Peck.
Jaden Edwards. So one out here in the top of the sixth. Ryan Petch at the plate for the Saxons. John Enriquez, who came in relief in that last half inning, still on the mound for the Cavaliers. And one pitch grabs the second out of the inning. And so looking to work quickly through this inning is Enriquez. And it's going to be Brenner Wailama at the plate. First pitch, slightly outside. Might have been a little high. Either way, 1 ball, no strikes. Second one hit on the dirt on the infield. Wailoma, tough play there for Enriquez as it sort of dropped right there, right on the first base line. Perfect spot between Blackwell and Enriquez and Richardson there at first. He couldn't have bunted it any better if he tried. And so Wailama reaches here in the first to reach here in the top of the sixth. Runner going, throw down by Blackwell inside. Not caught by Ballou, but covering there is Norwood. And despite the stolen base there from Wailama, unable to advance on the wild throw, so it'll be man at second. One ball here. And it's Tristan Fernandezes. Swings at that one. Right into the netting across the Cavaliers bullpen. It's going to be 1-1. Enriquez sets. Popped up. Enriquez calls for it. He makes the play himself, and that ends the inning. No runs across for the Saxons, so 6-0 headed to the bottom of the sixth.
No runs, one hit, and one runner left on base by the Saxons. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching for the North Torrance Saxons is a senior, number 12, Samuel Miranda. Leading off the Cavaliers here in the bottom sixth is number 41, Michael Richardson.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. High school baseball action here on the campus of Serra High School. And we've got a pitching change. It's going to be Michael Richardson at the plate, and first pitch swinging. Flies out to short center field. Move made. Samuel Miranda, the senior, coming in to spell Kevin Pena after a good outing. Gives up no runs through 5. Had a couple of scares there, but able to shut it down all in all, and leaves with a 6-0 lead with just 2 innings here to cap it and get a win on his record. Cavaliers' next batter is Kelvin Martinez, and he takes a strike there. And an illegal pitch call. There from the umpire behind the plate. You could hear the third base coach for the Cavaliers yelling out that call, and the home plate umpire agreed with him. Adds a ball to the count. But still unable to get anything accomplished there was Kelvin Martinez. He flies out again to center. That's Delshawn Lanier making the last two plays out there in center, and so 2 quick outs here for the Cavaliers. And Malik Ballou steps in and looks at strike 1. Lefty deals. Arm side fastball. Getting by Ballou. Pain in the outside of that plate. Makes the move that way. Lets that one go and puts it past McCormick. Looked like he was trying to put it in the same place that time, just a little bit further off the plate, and doesn't get the call. That one's well upstairs. So falling behind now is Enriquez. He's down 2-1 to McCormick. Bottom of the 7th, last chance for your Serra Cavaliers here against the North High Saxons. Sean Carter leading it off. Back out again for the Saxons is Samuel Miranda. Lays that one outside, and the count is full, 3-2. Carter gets a hold of that one, grounds it right at the shortstop. And he makes the clean play. Over to Vasquez at first base. That's Tristan Fernandezes. He's played a real solid game here for the Saxons at short. Just a junior. But obviously this coaching staff led by Josh Lee believes in that shortstop being the captain of the defense. We've seen multiple times today Fernandezes making calls into the pitcher from his shortstop position. And now Miranda pours one in. As, let's see what we've got here. We got a lefty up at the plate. It's going to be Cameron Robertson out of right field. Swings through a high fastball, and Miranda puts another one by him. It's ahead in this count, 1-2. Lefty deals. Tries to get Robertson to chase. He declines as that one's in the dirt and off the plate. 2-2 here. It's a piece of that one and off the catcher's glove. It's a foul ball, no damage done. It's going to stay at 2-2. righty, so swing there.
Now batting, number 2, Irving Norwood.
And the umpire is going to call catcher's interference from his advantage. There's a little bit of an argument from the North High side. Thought the ball was tipped, but the umpire is saying that the mitt was tipped, and therefore it's a catcher's interference, And so got a runner on first here. Robertson as Norwood steps in. Norwood fouls this one off. Norwood sets again. Pitch from Miranda well high in the snap throw down to first, too late. Miranda sets, looks at first, and he's going to make the move there. Robertson, a little of a stutter there. Almost got himself caught as he moved back to first, but he is back in time. This pitch is down. It's going to be a ball to Norwood. Norwood with some interesting gloves on. At some point, I'd love to get some interviews with this Cavaliers baseball team. And one of the questions, regardless of what they are, they're working because he picks up a hit, puts it right through the hole on the left side. It's right between third and second as we see Fernandezis giving those calls again from short. Got my engineer and producer and technical engineer extraordinaire, Mark Alston, standing next to me, and I'd like to give him thanks before this broadcast ends. They usually wait till the end, but since I'm going to bring him up, as the ball's in the dirt, runners advancing down the third, the throw goes, and safe is Robertson. Norwood also advancing. McCormick's got a little bit of an argument there, but you can't argue with the umps because they rule the diamond. So here we go. Men on second and third. I brought up Mark again. Like to thank him for everything he does, setting up all the technical side of this. But told him that Norwood's gloves look like gardener's gloves to me. My mother loved to garden when I was growing up, so I saw a lot of gardener's gloves. That's what I would say they most closely resemble. No Velcro to tighten them at the wrist, as this one is smoked to center field, and it's going to drop. Runners are going to score. It's Jaden Edwards, and he's going to drive in two with the single. Let's get to something more important. Cavaliers on the board here in the bottom of the seventh, as Miranda is running into a little bit of trouble after picking up that first out. It looks like Coach Josh Lee's going to come out, see if he's making a move or if he's just talking. What's his infield in? But again, smoked by Jaden Edwards. We talked about the power that he's got, and that time he laced it in between the outfielders. Got it to drop. Robertson and Norwood, who picked up back-to-back hits and stolen bases at the same time. They both come in, so a good move there, stealing the bases. And able to get both runners into scoring position so that if the opportunity does arrive, as it did there with Edwards, you're in the in the space to score there. And so the Cavaliers pick up 2 after that meeting on the mound between Coach Josh Lee and Samuel Miranda. Miles Blackwell steps to the plate. The catcher, and this is the part of the order that made a little bit of noise for the Cavaliers earlier. If I'm not mistaken, that was just last half inning that the part of the roster that we're in right now, 2, 3, 4, and maybe even 5 were able to either reach or move up their runners. So let's see what the Cavaliers are able to put together here. One's in for a strike there from Miranda. And he clips the edge of the plate there. Don't get me wrong, it was a beautiful pitch. Right on the edge of the plate. And it's 2 balls, 1 strike now. Blackwell fouls that one back into the gate. Two pitch coming from Miranda. Reactions from both sides. Ump is going to say ball 3. And we're going to get this solved pretty quickly here. Miranda deals down the middle, but a little low. And that's a walk for Blackwell. 2 on, 1 out for the Cavaliers. And this potent part of their lineup, Nigel Buckley. Nigel Buckley at the plate now for the Cavaliers. For the first pitch of that at-bat, we're going to get a runner for the Cavaliers here.
Checking in for the Serra Cavaliers.
It's going to be number 11, Delton Prince,
Miles Blackwell
the second.
is number 11, Delton Prince, the second.
So Prince on first, Edwards on second, 1 out here for Buckley as Miranda deals. That one painted the edge, folks, and just like I didn't lie about the last one, I won't lie about this one. I think that one might have been slightly off the plate, but nonetheless, being consistent with it is the umpire here for us today. And so it's a strike there for Miranda. Buckley gets a piece of this one. Play going to second. Slide. And they're going to call him safe at second. And so all runners are going to be safe. Play was made. Ball was hit in hard into the infield grass at the third baseman, Brenner Wyaloma. He stopped as the runner hesitated towards him, looked at first, decided to go to second, and the play at second, according to the umpire, was late. And again, a great tactical move by the Cavaliers, as that was the pinch runner that they just put in, Delton Prince the second, making that slide at second and able to come in safe to keep the Cavaliers' run with just 1 out here. So now Michael Richardson steps in at the plate. Buckley at first, Prince at second, Edwards at third, and the first pitch is going to be a ball to Richardson. 1 out, bottom of the 7th, last chance here for the Cavaliers. Miranda pipes that one right past Richardson to even up the count here. Richardson looks at one, and it's high and outside. Ball 2. That one's in the dirt and behind McCormick. Nowhere to go for the runners, so they hold. Definitely not enough time for Edwards to get down from third base, and with him holding, everybody else has to as well. It's a 3-1 count with that ball in the dirt to Richardson. And Miranda leaves that one high to walk in a run. Edwards comes in, and Richardson held himself together, a guy that we've already seen with some power to the outfield as well, and able to keep his bat on his shoulder until Miranda proved that he was going to give him something worth hitting. And it results in a walk and a run for the Cavaliers. So they get on the board here, 6-1 in the bottom of the 7th. It's going to be Kelvin Martinez at the plate for the Cavaliers. Not sure if we ever finished our conversation about the age differences between these teams, but Cavaliers with 4 freshmen, and Martinez is one of them here at the plate in a big spot. Cavaliers going to make another move for their first baseman, Michael Richardson. He's going to come out off the base pass, and in for him is Alan Griffin. Alan is a senior, as this one's put up the middle and through. Martinez scores 1, rounding and heading home, and down and in on the slide is Buckley. Freshman coming up big in the spot. It's Kelvin Martinez making a play for his Cavalier teammates, putting that one right between the second baseman and the shortstop and right over him for a single, and another 2 runs scored for the Cavaliers, pulling them within 6-3 here. Still does not appear to be anybody warming for the Saxons. And so the inning continues for Miranda. Gonna have a pinch hitter for the Cavaliers, trying to get everything settled between their coach and the umpire, but it's gonna be Ryan Pounds coming in to bat, another senior on this Cavaliers team. Malik Ballou is going to come out for this at bat here. The success Miranda's had is coming arm side. That fastball that he's able to get in the zone up and down wise, and able to just paint that outside edge. Ump is giving him that call every time, and he's got to figure out a way to get something behind that to keep these Cavaliers guessing to some extent.
The pinch runner for Richardson is number 8, Alan Griffin. He is now at second base.
So far here in the bottom of the 7th, the Cavaliers have teed off A little bit on Miranda after the first out was recorded. This one's on the ground right at the first baseman. Making the play is Vasquez. He trots over and makes the second out here in the bottom of the seventh. So last chance for the Cavaliers.
Sean Carter.
As Ryan Pounds unable to pick anything up there. And the person that started this inning, I believe, or maybe it was Baloo, somewhere in this realm of the order. But Carter's back up, and he sets in against Miranda. Again, that pitch on the outside of the plate is given to Miranda for strike one. Again, same place. He's getting that call every time. And he's finally sticking with it. Let's see if Carter can make a mid-at-bat adjustment. Instead, Miranda makes the adjustment. He comes up and in on that one. Maybe trying to change the eyesight there for Carter. Let's see if he goes back to his bread and butter. He does. This time it's in the middle of the plate, but up and elevated out of the range. Carter swings anyway and swings right underneath it, ending the game in 7. Valiant effort by the Cavaliers.
Winning pitcher 5 shutout innings was number 9, a junior, Kevin Pena.
So after a valiant effort in the 7th, the Cavaliers fall 6-3 to the North High Saxons here on Joshua Lewis Field. Tough one to drop after the Cavaliers were making a bit of a run there, the bottom of the 7th, but another tough loss from a Torrance school. We talked about their Bishop loss in their last game in the 10th inning, and they dropped this one, fighting back hard in the 7th inning. But a great effort by the Cavaliers. Their next game will be tomorrow at Loyola High School. That one starts at 3:30. And then they will be back here home on Monday, April 5th against Lucerna. And we should be back for that one. As always, follow at The Voice Of, at TheeVoiceOf, at The Voice Of. Again, thank you to Mark Alston, the technical mastermind of everything that goes on from our platform. And we'd like to thank you guys for watching. Once again, from Joshua Lewis Field here on the campus of Serra High School. North High Saxons 6, Serra Cavaliers 3, and we thank you for watching.